why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition, stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion? Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly that before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then, following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China, he took silk and gunpowder. From India, he took jute, manganese, and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast, he took barrels of oil untold, raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So, my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. Before we came to America, we were living in the East. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes, slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and fire water. Tricks and lies, he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise. On his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is a black man hell.
Yes, without ado, I see Sister I back in the back room here. I'm going to open it up so we can see her beautiful face. It seems like it's been a million years since I've been on a live show. I've been running so hard, just getting
How are you? Can
I
you
want to
see
thank
me
everybody for
properly?
their well wishes and whatnot, because that was not a good feeling at all. I'm telling you. And let me open this up here. Let me see if my camera's adjusted just right. I think it might be. Let's just take this banner off and let's see how I have to move my head. I'm way over in the corner here. I got to move over, right? Got to even adjust myself a little bit. Let's bring this down so my head goes up. But you're not going to be looking at me
Can you
most of the
hear
show,
me?
everybody. Welcome everyone to another episode of the LANCESCURV Show podcast. We had to do this one. And the title, I kind of fixed it up a little bit. But when you conveyed the message of what you wanted to speak about, I knew exactly how to hook it up. And I know it's going to be phenomenal. I want to thank everybody for their well
Thank you.
wishes. I still have a little occasional sneeze, but you won't hear that because I'm taking myself off the visuals here in a little while. I'm going to give you center stage, my dear sister. And wow, over here now it's 9:07 and pitch black. After 6, it gets dark. And so on the East Coast it's still light. So I'm just looking at it like a hungry dog looking at a biscuit, like, wow, it's still light over there. Anyway, let me just put you over here with me or put you center stage, and we're going to get on with it. Yeah, so good. I'm glad you're here, my dear sister. I'm glad with the idea and the subject that you wanted to speak about. And I'm all ears. Talk to us. And I just want to say, I'm going to say one more thing. YouTube has this new feature. I just want to bring it to everybody's attention for people to say, I just want to add on something to your channel. There's a thing called Super Thanks, and it's a heart down at the bottom of the screen on YouTube. But carry on.
So,
How are you doing today?
high vibration to everyone, healing energy to you all, So, I pray that everyone is doing well on this Monday, right? It's a holiday,
Yeah,
right?
you're soaking up the sun over there. But you know what? You're soaking up the sun, but the sun feels good looking at you.
Yes. Very important, right? Very
That's right.
important. So I said, let me come outside so that
The
I
sun.
can get some inspiration from the sun, right?
Yeah.
So
And the visuals.
yes, I hope you can, that everybody can still hear what I'm saying. So
Yes, we can.
anyway.
We can see you really good when you face the sun. Like when the sun's
Oh,
behind. Yeah, when you're facing the sun highlights your face.
thank you. So,
Sideways, that's good.
well, there is a lot. So I have, as human being, we have a lot of thoughts, things that comes to our head, that
Yeah.
we think about, but something's just a repeated thought, over and over and over again. And you get to wonder, is it actually a thought or is it a message? What is it? Or is it part of our basic instincts as a human being? You know? So I remember though, growing up in Nigeria, despite the fact that when elder is talking, they will say, don't speak when an elder is speaking, be respectful. You
Right.
still allow an independent thought that nobody is trying to speak for. I mean, Nobody's trying to manipulate your mind, right? Those are the days that children can play outside. They can still play outside now, but with the invention of YouTube and stuff like that, the world seems like a more dangerous place. But anyway, so a couple of years ago, I wanted to say 2013, I was working. I went to the bank to go and get money to pay my rent. And as I was working, it was during winter season. It was freezing cold. In fact, it was so cold that you can't even feel your fingers. So as I was passing by, I passed by two black men. And I've told that story many times to my family members and some people that I knew. So it was two black men sitting. They were sitting on the slab, on the asphalt, very cold, extremely cold. One was drinking, and the other brother was advising him in the midst of the cold. And the other brother was advising him that for that brother to stop drinking, right? He says, so the next thing he repeats an Arabic prayer that I used to do when I was a truck driver, right? I used to make that prayer a lot because not only was I a truck driver, I was driving by myself alone. And I don't even know how to fix a doorknob. So if the truck breaks down, I have to depend on the mercy of the company to come and take care of it.
Right. Right.
I was one of those, to say the ignorance is not even the right word at that point. It's like, what the hell? But nonetheless, so the prayer says, I will repeat it I will say it in Arabic, but it says, La ilaha illallah wa la sharika lahu lahu mulku wa lahu hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. Subhana rabbiyal a'la yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. It was extremely detailed prayer in praising the one that created all, in praising Allah, right? But I was so shocked. That prayer, though I used to say it a lot, I had already forgotten about it. Right? I have not said that prayer in years. Here is a
Said it
man.
good.
Here is a man who is down on his luck, supposedly. Who everybody just walk by him. He's counseling somebody else in the midst of hell, right? And everybody was just going by his day. So that day, as I was passing by, what I should have done is to go back and give him some money. Or maybe to acknowledge that prayer, because now he reminded me of that prayer. From that time on, I remember that prayer. I still do it often. Sometimes I still forget, but I will go back to that prayer. Because of that one man, I remember that prayer again. And I was so shocked. Not that he's a Muslim or that he's religious, that he himself, in the midst of all that he still remember God, that he has not lost hope, that this time he can still counseling somebody. So I started looking at the rest of us as we were walking by, and as I kept walking towards the train to go and take a train to go home, I started making prayer for them in my mind, right? Sometimes I will do that a lot. And I have a lot of family members and friends that does the same thing. That if they pass by somebody that is down on their luck, if they can't help them, they will pray for them. So fast forward, later on, I met But let me go back for a second. That prayer, by me hearing that prayer, I consider it to be a message to me. I consider that prayer like that. It was supposed to say it at that particular time. I am supposed to hear that prayer because this was a prayer that got me through serious, dangerous times as a truck driver, right? Because I remember one time I was given an assignment and there was a lot of snow. So they told me, from Utah to Washington State, go ahead and pick stuff, bring it back. And I was so excited. I was going up and down. And I was doing it without trailer brake. So, and there was snow on the ground, right? So my truck or my trailer would be flapping all over the place. So I see it, I keep doing my maneuvering, but I didn't know it was because I don't have a trailer brake. Eventually, I came back. A few days later, I brought the truck back to the company for them to to check it so that I can go by my way. And the guy says, "Oh, so are you crazy or something?" I said, "What do you mean?" "Oh, yeah, you don't have a trailer. Do you know you don't have a trailer?" But oh, so I said, "Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that." So when he says that, I remember everything that happened on my way to Washington, to Seattle, Washington, and I remember everything, all the difficulties. I said, really? I said, I thank God, Hey, hey. I said, ignorance is bliss. At least I made it back. So they fixed the trailer, they fixed everything. And the guy was looking like me with, like really. Anyway, I kept it moving. Anyway, fast forward, I'm in Maryland now. I hear that prayer again, but that prayer never left my mind. And every time I will still remember that brother, the full image of him, even as I'm speaking now, is still in my head. I think it must be nearly a year later, a couple of months later. I was coming from my school at night because I used to stay at school until like 2 a.m. I don't know if you can still hear me because there's a lot of you can hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
So I'm thinking this might be 2000 and the incident with the brother was 2013. I think this one might be 2014 now because I was already going to school. But one night I was coming home, it was already late. It was already late. Anybody that knows about Baltimore knows what I'm talking about with the train when it's late at night. So I started making prayer like, am I going to get stuck here? All of a sudden, a sister came up to me and says, let's take a hack together. Let's go and get a hack. We're talking about 1 a.m. now. So we put our money together. And I told the sister, I said, I don't have that much money. I just have enough to take a train and get home. Oh, she said, don't worry about it. Let's just do this. So now we get into the cab with this brother. So the brother started talking. And he started talking about Black history, things that I've never heard before. He started talking about it. So he dropped that sister to our place. Then and in my mind as he was talking, I said, I could follow him so that we can go ahead and talk all night right now. Like, I feel like I need to have a conversation. But I was looking at it like, for all I know, it could be a ghost or something, but I didn't feel any fear. What the brother was doing was encouraging us. He was encouraging us. He was telling us what we used to be, who we are as
Right.
Black women. And I said, oh my God. I wanted to ask him, I didn't want. I know that it's no. He can't get that type of knowledge from going to American school. I already knew that. But I feel like I can open up his brain and just soak up all the information. But there was just not enough time to do all that. From that time, I said, there is something about this particular country that a person like this cannot be made public to the world for us to hear what they have to say. That brother, the first brother that I met, right? Those are just one of millions of black men like that in this country, in the world, right? But that the society will not allow them to speak, right? Okay, now we continue on. Later on, I get to know about Dr. Woman, all of those other guys, Dr. Wesley Francis. So now, remember, it was that conversation particularly that gets me to start thinking about really this country history. I knew about the deplorable behavior, I know that. But what else is it that we don't know, right? So anytime I see a black scholar that's speaking, or if I see a black person saying something that is different from what we normally, I like to listen. Okay, so a few days ago, I pick up a brother, right? I was driving past, I was supposed to take a corner, but I said, I just went straight. So the brother was looking for a ride. He said, sister, can you give me a ride? But from the look of him, you will not want him to get in your car. From the look, right? If that's what you're looking at. So once he asked me, I said, yes, come on in. So we stopped everything we're doing. He got in the car. So he thanked me. And is it poetry? Is it message? This brother started talking. And he started the things that he said. Hey, I say, America have destroyed a lot of lives. Again, because we have a situation where people are coming out and say black men ain't shit. Is that the language now? Don't have black boys. Is that the language? But if you don't have a black boys, we don't have black girls. So this brother started talking. And he must have talked to me and I don't have any words to say other than for me to keep thanking him. Because what he said, I need to hear it. I think what he said is necessary, maybe for me to clear the first impression of what it looks like, maybe. But him saying it remind me of the first time that I heard a brother saying a prayer. It reminds me of the second time, right? So now, again, the brother, finally at the end of that conversation, the brother says, sometimes I might not do right, but please forgive me. Stuff like that. I've never met him before. He's just speaking to me as a human being, as a family, right? He didn't do nothing wrong to me, right? But at some point, us as black people, we have to step back. And I think I've said that before. To step back from this society, from the bombardment of black men are the criminal, black people are evil. We just need to step away from all of this. Step away from
That's
watching
right.
TV, because if I had said that brother that's speaking, I don't even think he's speaking to me directly. He's speaking to the maybe my generation yet unborn. Maybe he's speaking to the universe, because we are not alone like that, right? Okay, so I get him to where he's going, and I got on the phone. I was talking to my son about it, and I kept replaying all the things that he said. Now, if he said that to some other sister, they will say he's trying to get at them. But that's not what he's doing. Because now we have now get past where black men can't even say hello to us. They can appreciate your look without somebody calling them names. So we're stripping not only their humanity away, we're stripping our own based on what society says, right? But then if you look at the people that are telling us not to acknowledge, respect, even when they are at their lowest point, the people that are telling all this, these are people that's killing, that's robbing, that's committing mass genocide. They lie every day. These are people that says we're cursed people, that we're cursed. They say they're the chosen one, but you get to ask yourself, are they really chosen like that? Because if they're really chosen, who commit this amount of crimes I'm talking about? Unbelievable horror. People that feed black babies to alligators, lynch black pregnant women, rape men, rape. I mean, nothing is sacred. These are people that are still going around digging graves all over Africa. Right? Nothing. We're not even asking the most simplest of questions, that all this digging grave, what are you looking for? These are our ancestors. They're digging everywhere. The disrespect. Because we black people, we talk about how they disrespect black bodies right now. We're talking about right now. We're not really talking about the fact that they go around digging graves everywhere. And they put them, you dig their body and you put them in the museum. For what purpose? What is the effect of digging bodies like that? Right?
Exactly.
Because I understand the need to know. But what do you need to know? I don't know about you, Brother Lance, but for most, up until I saw them digging graves, I have never felt the need to go and know the reason why, what is in the graves, how long it's been there. What
Right.
is the purpose of it? But I wonder, should we thank them from doing all that? We get to know some information, but really, because all that bodies now that they're digging, they're putting them all in the museum everywhere. What is the effect of all those ancestors not really having a proper resting place, right? Now, I don't know, but I'm just asking the questions, right? These are the questions that comes to my brain. That these are the group of people that goes around, you destroy all, you erase all history. Now, one by one, black people are waking up, right? Now we're finding out that what you told us, it's not necessarily true. But for every one of us that wake up, we still have millions and millions that believe that these things is not real. You know, that having your chakra open, there's nothing, it's evil. So you have black people coming out and say, having their first eye open, which you need, is evil. Right? But all these things is needed. Because how do you deal with a society or the world that hates you so much? They call you all kinds of names, but they need your liver, your kidney, your entire organ to survive. But they say you are cursed. So anyway, that takes me to an incident that happened this Saturday. Right? I believe you saw a video that I sent you, right? Of the where I was talking to someone. Before you saw me, where I was doing a little bit of exercise with the brother, right? We were already had a conversation. And again, just like the previous brothers, the conversation was deep. It was necessary. But again, this is somebody that if you see them or see him, you will not want to come near him. But he carried the entire history on his back, right? But at the same time, the society say ignore him, don't respect him, unless the only person we are allowed to respect are actors who are now wearing skirts, right? Who cannot necessarily speak on behalf of their own people, or rappers who are wearing similarly the same the same type of clothing. So we had a great conversation. A sister of mine, we were there talking to the brother, but what brought me to that brother was different. We were going around the park, right? We wanted to go and do some yoga and take a video. And before we get there, I was telling the sister, I said, one of the things that I wanted to do, right, is if I see a young brother on the street, especially the ones that are doing those brothers that like to clean your glasses as you go the windows. I said, I wanted to start talking to them when
you're right.
Right? And to tell them this type of exercise, the video that I show you, the things that they can do to start, to keep their body up, to keep their mind. So that's what I was saying. Then once we park, immediately we started walking, and we walked and we came up on that brother. And as we came up on him, we were asking him questions about the instrument that was at the park, how we can use it, right? Because I'm looking at it and I was looking lost. So he was trying to show us, and immediately, if you see this brother, from the point of view, it doesn't look like, but the brother got on it. Oh my God, and we were so flabbergasted. Like, what the hell? I mean, you can bend your body like that, stuff like that. We're so excited. So that's how we get, how black people, when you get to a conversation, so we just got into it. And everything that the other sister and I just had, the conversation we just had, now we're repeat word for word, right? We say, so we're telling, we were just saying that, So then the brother went on to tell us his health challenges, and normally this is what I do. As soon as somebody tell me that something is wrong with them, everything that I know, I want to put it in their head all at once. Like, here, go and do this, do this, do that, do this, do that, because I don't want to see my people in pain, right? So I said, well, brother, if you don't mind, can I show you some stuff that you can be doing, And he told us how the health challenges that he's going through. In fact, he was supposed to have not been around. He only lasted, normally they predicted 6 months, and he's been around for 2 years going, stuff like that. So we're so excited for him. And I said, oh, can I just show you one more other thing that you can add to what you're doing? So I show him the exercise that you see me, that I sent to you. And the brother was very respectful. He didn't tell us that you can't show me nothing. He didn't know us from anywhere. He's been taking care of himself all this while, and we show him that exercise. We continue having a conversation. Again, this is another black man that, if the society have allowed him to be the man that he's supposed to be, what would have been the benefit, not just for this society, but for the world again?
Right.
So as the sister and I, as we were leaving, she reminded me of something. And what she reminded me of was the type of exercise that we see the brother doing. He was doing things with his body, his leg, his foot, his everything. That brings me to know that this brother, the universe is with him. So he was doing things that I've never seen before, right? So the sister said, do you know I've never seen that before? And I said, yes, me too, I've never seen that before. So, and we started talking, and we started talking about how that we have come to a point that we see each other, we just don't look, we don't acknowledge, and if we see each other in pain, we revel in their pain, we enjoy their pain. And particularly, I'm talking about most people on this YouTube space or various other online platform. The black
Mm-hmm.
people, our nature is different. Even if some of us are doing what we consider to be egregious things, right? It is better to step back and not saying anything than to be high-fiving their downfalls. Personally, I think that thing kills our instincts. It kills our humanity. Because you're
That's right.
sharing the downfall of your brother. You're sharing the downfall of your sisters. What is the implication of this type of behavior, right? For not just the people that are doing it at the moment, but those of us that are sitting there listening to it, right? So as we continue, the sister and I will continue our conversation. And I already knew what happened. And she just opened the gate and said, you know that everything he was saying is what we were saying. And she reminded me that the things that I want to do, that I say that I want to do, that I can't just pick and choose who I want. I have to go where my instincts takes me, right? So that where the universe takes me is where I have to go, and I cannot be perfection with it. And she said, well, you see, you come here, you were talking about you want to help certain people. You did give the brother the information. it was not just the person you were expecting to give that information to, right? So again, and as she was talking to me, and I remember how many other times where your instincts will tell you to do something, you know, go somewhere, say something, and for me particularly, I just ignore it, right? That we will not say what we wanted to say. And what is the result of what is causing us not to follow our instincts, right? What is causing us not to do the right thing right then and there at the right time? You know, if somebody insults us, even that day, right? As the brother was talking to us, right? Something was telling me to ask for his name. Do you know I didn't ask for his name? And I didn't tell him my name. And
Wow.
even though, and that was not the first time for me, right? There was so in fact, I was observing myself, right? And something is saying, ask for his name, which is natural, but I didn't do it. And that information came in my head a few more times, right? But I never did it. But the sister, which she is very, very sharp, she herself didn't do it. So I'm hoping that maybe she would do it and I didn't have to do it. So because what else could it be? So she didn't
How it
ask
is.
either. So as the brother wants to leave, he said, "Can I give you guys a hug?" He gave us a hug. We wish him, we pray, and everybody went their way. But that thing sticks with me as we continue our exercise throughout the day. That what is it about, even me particularly, and us as a people collectively, like you come up from somebody, we don't ask the most basic of things, that how are you doing, how's family, what's your name, right? And I'm sure if I have told that brother my name, he will have remembered. He will have remembered. So
Well, he'll never forget you anyway, whether he knows your name or not. He'll never forget you.
oh yes, oh yeah, I pray not, right? And I pray that I am woman enough to remember that brother. But we were there for quite I think we were there for well over an hour for me to be able to at least remember him when I see him again.
Exactly.
So it gets me to think about some of the things that, especially us as women, right? Some of the things that cause us not to follow our instincts, because we need all our senses, right? To be able to feel things, to hear things, to perceive information properly. And I know that us as Black women were very sensitive about our hair, right? Nobody can tell us nothing. You know, if a black man is saying it, it's because he's been a bitch, right? If another Black woman is saying it, it's because. But if I may say, the reason why we need to abandon, I'm not saying everybody should abandon the wig though, because in fact, everybody should keep your wig on. You should. But you see what is happening now when white police officer decided to beat up a Black woman, the first thing that they're doing is grabbing your hair to use it to whip you around.
For real.
Right? We have to even consider the danger of wearing wigs, honestly, because people are using it as a way to to, to attack you, to take you unaware, right? And then myself, I have a wig story. I used to wear it. So it's not like all of us are not, some people never did. All of us are not immune to wearing wigs, right? Maybe I'll tell you the story of me wearing it so that the experience that I had and why I stopped. So I stopped wearing, I only wear it for a couple of years, then I stopped. And the reason I started wearing the wig to begin with was because my sister that does my hair moved to London, right? Her husband was in the military. She moved to London, and I don't like anybody to touch my hair or touch my head. I just don't like it. Now I know why I hesitate, because I don't like people touching my head like that, right? So after she left, I was looking for black hair salon, right? I found one, and then of course I left the place with dandruff, or they gave me dandruff.
Oh
So
man.
after that, I said, that's it. I started cutting off my hair and I wear wig. Well, fast forward 2000, and then of course wearing it, first of all, it makes me look crazy. I don't know about anybody else, because you start scratching, and I think it's because the reason why we're scratching is because we're not getting the information we should be receiving, right? So fast forward, by this time, my sister and her husband are back from England, 2005, right? One night, I was driving. I was at a stop sign. All of a sudden, somebody slammed me from the back. Oh, so as she slammed me from the back, guess what went flying? My wig. Phew. My wig just fly off my
Oh,
head.
man.
So as she was pushing me into the traffic, do you know what I was trying to do?
With
I
the
was trying
wig.
to grab the wig. So I was driving. Listen, this is a true life story. I think my sister can testify. Every chance I
Yeah.
got to tell that story to people, because listen. I have one hand on the steering and my right hand trying to grab that wig, because I want to make sure I have that shit on my head, you know. So, and as I stopped, and the lady pushed me. She was gonna push me in the traffic, and I'm still looking for the damn wig.
Oh wow.
Finally, she stopped. I said, "Oh my God, do you know?" Still, I didn't get out of the car though. I grabbed my wig, I put it back on my head, and I got out of that car before she ran that car one more time.
That would have
So,
made TikTok real fast.
listen, when you're wearing wig, you do some shit that you're not supposed to be doing, okay? So I came out. And I went to her and I look at her. It was a little old white lady. I said, "What in the hell? Are you trying to kill me?" So, oh, she said, she's sorry. I said, did you? Where's your insurance? You know, and I was asking her, "Why are you driving at night?" She said she can't see. So you can't see you're driving at night? But the fact that I survived the entire situation, I called my sister quick. I said, "I'm coming to you tomorrow. I need you to get my hair done on the double for me." So she said, "Okay." So I told her the story. We had a good laugh. And she was saying, "Why the hell are you wearing wig to begin with?" So, of course, I repeated the normal story I normally repeat to everybody. So that was the last time I wore wig, right? But beyond us wearing it for fashion, for however how many reasons, right? How about that the fact that we're supposed, that's how we communicate? That the fact that our hair is literally an antenna, right? How about that? How about that these people tell us that the hair we're wearing is natural hair, right? So let's say that is other people's hair. there is a spiritual attachment to that hair. So that means you wearing somebody else's causes, somebody else's drama. You put somebody else's entire being. You put it on your head. Right? Now, look at the way we in Africa, Nigerians, we can't do anything without wearing wigs. But us as Africans, we understand the implication, what it means to, when we're talking about your head, your crown, right? Literally, our head is our crown, right? We wear other people's, other culture, and we behave wild. I mean, black, I don't listen. When I'm saying stuff like this, we know other people, other group wear wigs. That's not the point. I'm not interested in other groups. I'm just interested in black people, period. And particularly black women. Because when you put a wig on, it's not just a wig. It's the chemical that was used to treat that wig, if they treat that wig at all. That hair, if it's whether it's synthetic, whether it's human hair, and then the spiritual aspect of it. And if you could, I don't know if any of your the audience can remember that many years ago, I don't know now that I don't watch TV, they used to be proud and say that these are human hair, India, what do they call it? India weave, something like that.
Yeah.
But every year or every couple of years, the Indians have this spiritual stuff that they do in their country where they will go and cut off their hair, right? And when they cut it off, they bringing it to Africa, to the rest of the world. When they cut it off, they believe that they are getting rid of all their bad luck. So they get off their bad luck. Africa decided to go ahead and take it on.
Wow.
And we swear that Indian hair is the best hair. But we're not thinking about the spiritual aspect. That the fact that these things affect your instincts, the way you receive information, right?
Exactly.
Okay. A lot of people complain, oh, black men. Well, maybe it's because the way some of the black men complain too much about it, right? But if you really forget about the way they're saying it, really think about this. Forget about what the black men or other group are saying about the wig. Think about it that you as a black woman, you are wearing somebody else's problem. They took off their crown, part of their crown. They drop it. You pick it up and you put it on your head. What is the spiritual implication of doing such a thing? How does that affect you in a long time? How does that affect when your ancestors, when the universe is trying to speak to you, wake you up? Even if they are trying to give you information that will save your life, how will you know? So now, these are some of the things that I'm thinking about. We're doing our nails, our fingers. We go to other group of people again to do their nails. They put chemicals. But if you look at the tip of your fingers right here, Those are neurons that that goes from your tip of your finger to your brain, right? Every aspect of our body are linked together. So now you will go and sit with people that hate you. You pay them good amount of money. They put chemical and paint your nails, put chemicals, mess up your finger, mess up your toes. You can't even get information if your life is in danger because you already block it. And we wonder how you have a lot of brain issue, a lot of different type of cancer that we should not be having. A lot of these diseases that Black community or we as Black people around the world are getting is as a result of some of the things we are ingesting, swallowing, using, things that we have no business using. Is it really important? Is it really that important to paint your fingers? Is it really that important? And if it's that important, then we have to be the one that go ahead and invent whatever. We need to know what is in your painting, the stuff. What is in it? All the chemical we use for our hair. You know, in that video, I was talking about how we as Black people, we are magnets, right? Like when we get somewhere, we absorb everything. So when you get somewhere, what is the effect of putting all those chemicals that you're absorbing into your system? What is it? That is blocking our instinct. That is why when we can recognize when somebody is being good to us, we can recognize even when we are in danger or when our children are in danger or where is danger lurking around. We can recognize it because you have your toenails that you pay good money for. The chemical that is blocking all the information to your brain. I mean, Black people, we're a walking miracle that we can still function with all the stuff that we ingest. It's something from what you did to what you're doing to yourself, what you've done to yourself, what you're going to still do to yourself. So we went from wearing wigs, doing our toenails, right? They damage the fingers, they damage everything. We're drinking, we're smoking, we're doing all. I mean, mind you, I myself don't do that stuff, but collectively, right, are we not responsible for all our bodies? So now, Black people around the world, we say, let us all come together, right? And we're wondering why we can't come together. We can't come together because we keep using chemicals. We keep doing things that block the communication, you know. If you're telling me something, I refuse to listen, I can't listen because there's other chemical, something already blocked the information. So if you say something before you even say it, I'm pissed off. I don't want to hear it. And we keep repeating the same goddamn thing. Let us all come together. But look at all the stuff that is blocking us from speaking to each other. At times, for you to know the right person or if somebody is good to you, you only have to go by what you feel, you know, your instincts, your what your first eye is telling you, you know. But if you already block everything, how will you know? Anyway, so it is not much, but that is what I got today. That Black people, we have to go back to the basic. For each and every person, you're only going to get with one person at a time. If they don't like it with your natural hair, maybe they are not the right fit for you. If they don't like it without your nails being done, well, I mean, we can do this thing at home though. Or go to a Black person. Because somebody putting, every time you touch other people, you come in contact with other people, you absorb their essence. You see? And that's another thing. We are observing other people's excess, but the society encourages us to sleep around, right? Jump from one. So it's bad enough that you are absorbing other people's excess, but we don't know how to get rid of that. But at the same time, they're encouraging us to sleep around, doing things that is abominable to nature. There is a lot to think about. I pray that as we continue to wake up, that we understand that this entire society is one big lie, and Black people particularly need to step back. We have to step back, start from basic. You know, when you are here, take a good look at the trees. Take a good look at the different types of animals, the people. You might see that somebody needs you without them saying a single word to you. But how will you know? If your nails is painted, if you're a man and you have your backside is out in the open that other men can see, how will you know? You can't even protect yourself. How will you know that somebody needs to be protected? If you're a woman, you're wearing other people's wear, how will you know that your children are in danger? How will you know? I pray that the Black man, the father of civilization, the primary custodian of the planet, Black man is the primary custodian of the planet. Black man is the original man. Nobody is going to do for us what we are supposed to do for ourselves. Nobody is going to wake you up from your slumber. We at least need to go ahead and put up a fighting chance. We know what is right. We don't need anybody to tell us what is right. Right? Backbiting, jealousy, envy, hatred, they need to kill, they need to do to those that look like you. All those things stop us from elevating. All those things stop us from really living collectively to rise up, to be able to do what is needed. The Black woman is the original woman. She's the mother of civilization. It is abominable. It is abominable. It is an abomination for a Black woman to say out of her mouth that what it is the need to have Black boys. And the role of a Black woman is beyond just laying around. Even if you are married to your husband, your role as a Black woman is more than your role, our role, to make prayers, not just for our children, but to make prayers for nature. Our role is very important. But if they're telling you that you need to have your behind outside on the streets, right? So I saw someone post a picture, and it was a picture of two sisters at the airport. Both of them are literally wearing, Is it their? Is that the beginning they're wearing, or their underwear with the entire backside outside in the airport? If I in a normal society, in a society that's not trying to humiliate you, they should have taken those two sisters to the asylum. That that is not freedom. What they did was not funny. That requires a mental evaluation. But you see, if you see, you will see a situation where some of our people will go to a restaurant to go and eat, but they are not following supposedly a code, right? They will throw them out of the restaurants. But you can come to a airport with your, I'm talking about serious backside, outside, on the streets. You're
For
a
real.
regional woman.
I know, I see it.
You said that, you said that? If I have the power of arrest, I would have arrested both of them for stupidity, for indecency, reckless endangerment, embarrassment to the entire. In fact, their the ticket that I'm going to write down will say embarrassment to black society, black. In fact, so anyway, as I continue forward that day, I left our good sister. I dropped her off at home. It was a beautiful day. Some other time, I may discuss in details some of the other conversation. But that day at that park, right, it was a bunch of black men, if I may say that came to the park with their children. They came to the park with their daughters. They came to their park with their sons, right? And we've been to, that's my second time of going to that park. The first time we were there, it was the same thing. It was a lot of black men, as the society kept saying that black men are not in the home. Well, if they are not at home, maybe they are at the park with their children. But, because everything that they're telling us on mainstream are not necessarily the truth. Definitely we can say there is not enough participation of all men in the home, right? Not just in black home, right? Because if you say there is not enough, there is no black men at home, can somebody tell me what happened to all those mass shooters? Don't they have fathers? What happened to their homes? What happened to their society? So maybe they can tell us all that. In the meantime, we have to stop regurgitating what this society says, and start looking even the worst among, because whenever this society talk about the worst black man, they're talking about that black man doesn't have a job. That's what they're saying. But this is a society that also make it to make sure that they will not have a job. Maybe that's why the importance of black men particularly start coming together. You're going to have to ignore your petty differences and start working together to create a job for yourself, because there is enough of us that can do business or buy from each other. That's my opinion on that. But anyway, Brother Lance, so I was just coming from a park that
Yes.
had, I think the sister can bear witness to this. I'm thinking, give or take, we saw about maybe about well over 100, about 100 maybe or less, black men with their children, right, at that park. So I dropped her off and I came to my neighborhood. So, and I wanted to come and use the restroom, but instead of me to come to my house, I said, I'm going to go to the library to go and use the restroom so I can drop some books there. It was a good thing that I went there. So I got there and they were having the Juneteenth event. Oh, I said, oh, I'm glad I show up here, you know. Again, following your instincts to see where, you know, because I passed my house, I passed my neighborhood just to get to the library. So I got there. It was a big event, nice, you know, a bunch of black women, black men are there, all their children are there. So now they were giving the mic to the politicians, you know, for everybody to come and tell, you know, tell the community what they're doing. Everybody was telling, you know, they're saying what they want to do for the community. Now, the person that wants to become the next DA of Maryland, she now stand up and say, her name is so and so, and that she's fighting for gender equality. She lists everything that she's fighting for, and she said she also fighting for women's reproductive health. Right? You already know where she's going with this one. So the next thing she says, we don't need men. I'm fighting for women's rights. We don't need men. Men say they want to protect us, but we don't need men. Right? In the next breath, she said, I'm a mother of 4. Of course. What do you mean you don't need men? You just added a girl for children. But I don't know if us are black people, when this type of people, this is a white woman talking. I don't know if when these people come around us and when they are saying stuff like this, maybe we don't want to embarrass them. Even I was standing there, I didn't say anything because, but I am watching the reaction of the audience, the people that were listening to her, to say, okay, so you have 4 children. Apparently, you need a man. You are married. But you here telling young people here that we don't need men to protect us. Right? But if your apartment pipes breaks down, you will need a man to repair it. If your car breaks down, the majority of the mechanics in the country are still men. There is a lot of things that you will need that requires men to do it, whether you are married to one or the other. So you are married, but now I'm looking at all the children that are there at the audience. Very brilliant children because they gave some award out. And if you are there, you'll be so happy to see in the midst of everything how excellent these kids are doing. So if their parents have listening to you, those kids will not be here. Why are you here in the midst of black people, Juneteenth, talking about reproductive right? Take that to your people, right? But black folk, nobody challenge her. She said what she has to say. So I'm coming from one park where black men are there protecting their children. They are there, and coming to this, talking about we don't need men. But because of we allow these people to get into our neurons, so messed us up like this. We're not picking up at when they say stuff, such rubbish. Whether you are married or not, men are necessary in society. You need both male and female in nature. You need both men and men in nature. What do you mean you don't need men? You telling us you don't need a man, but you got 4 children. And I'm pretty much sure you're running for the DA, you're going to present a family front. That means you're going to be showing us your husband, but it's okay for black men not to be at home. You know, going back to welfare, the brother that talked the other day, you want to get welfare, you don't need to have a man at home. We need to stop contributing to our own downfall, whether black man and black woman. Everybody, we need to start eating right, massage yourself, get into some constructive type of exercise, you know. And we need to, I mean, I don't even know what it's going to take for us to wake up. But for those that are going to wake up, start with what we put in our mouth. Eat, cook your own food. Eating is spiritual. Eat with your hand. We eat with your own fingers so that your finger can recognize when you put your hands inside of your mouth, so that your brain can digest the food properly. Turn off the TV. People that are being washed, it's not supposed to be watching anything else. You know? It is time for us to decompress and really take us to what are we here for? Anyway, Brother Lance, that's my 2 cents.
But that 2
I
cents has
don't
more
know.
value than any 2 cents in history. It's a lot more than 2 cents. Trust me. It has more value than the American dollar.
Oh my God.
We need more sense like this out here. Seriously, we need more people, male and female, who are principled, who are not afraid to say what they have to say. If you notice how things are going, they're allowing more decadence, but
Yes.
they're putting things in motion to shut us up on speaking about it.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy? We're supposed to see this stuff and not talk about it. You get on social media and talk about it and they ban you, but they let a person walk out in the street wearing nothing but dental floss in the crack of their behind. That's just so crazy.
Listen, sometimes, Brother Lance, I see some of these. If only these people know who we are, though.
Oh, of course.
They know.
That's why they take joy in our decadence and breaking us down and seeing us act like a fool, because we're so far off the frequency we're supposed to be on.
Do you know, up until, I think it's possible, the first time I got the image of, and I think everybody should go ahead and do that. Go ahead and Google the image of your foot and the image of your hand and study it. And if you really want to do it, Google the image of pineal gland. And I remember the first time I Googled the image of my, I say my foot. You just Google the image of the foot. And I started seeing how everything is connected. You know? I said, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
The things we put in our body knowingly and unknowingly. You know, the things we do to ourselves knowingly and even all the way to the tattoos. You know?
That's face.
That we deface. You know, I used to tell people that my body is my temple, and the reason why certain behavior that I'm not going to engage in it, because I don't want to go to hell.
Right.
Brother Lance, and I think if you really, you know this already, and if you talk to some people who have been through these things, once the universe decides to wake you up, and you wake up, you're going to walk the plank of all your behavior. You're going to have to remember those things that you've done before. And who wants to go through revisiting all the atrocities?
Right.
I mean, when they say it's okay for you to start counting your finger, all your 10 fingers and your 10 toes is not enough, and you can count as many sticks, and you can put a name on them, how many men you've slept with.
Oh God.
Those things is not what it is. Because even how do you even follow your instincts on a particular relationship, knowing that before you stop this relationship, you already jump into the next one, you have another one in the back of your bag. But the people that are promoting these things to you, they knew who you are.
Right.
They knew a black man that they're promoting all these things to you. They knew who you are. They're promoting it to you because they know that they're not just destroying you right now, but they are destroying generation yet unborn. They know it.
The transfer of the bad spirits.
Yes, they knew.
The unseen.
Yes, the work that you have to do to go from a low vibration person to a high vibration is a lot of work. It's not a walk in the park. I was having a conversation with my mom yesterday, and she's asking me to do some stuff, and because I said, oh, this is how I want to do it. And she said, when I'm talking to you, I'm going to need you to listen to do stuff like that. And she said, you talking to other people and you want them to listen to you. But when I'm talking to you, or when other people are talking to you, you just want to, So I promised her, I said, oh, don't worry, I will do what you said. Because as she said it, I have to then really pay attention, to what she's saying. And what is she telling me to do is just to make sure that I extended enough grace and things to some of my own brothers and sisters. That's what she's telling me to do. But my mentality that I have is, listen, if I'm telling you this is the way this country is, you need to follow instructions. If you don't follow, I'm just going to step back and let you do what you do. Not that any of them are doing anything illegal in this country. No, in fact, they're hardworking people. But I want us to pay more attention to the place we're living at. So, and she's saying, whenever you learn something new, just let them know. I said, no, I already sent it to this person. Let the other one send it to everyone. She said, no, you send them the information yourself. So I'm saying that to say none of us are we're not too grown that our elders can't even tell us what to do. It is an act of grace for the universe to give you information, right? That is not to say that those elders that didn't get that type of information doesn't mean that the universe don't love them. It's because the grace that was extended to them, as a result of them, the universe extended their grace to their lineage. So many of the brothers that are out here, that the universe has blessed them with brains, understanding, but you all sit on YouTube downing on your elders before. It's not in our best interest to keep doing that. Each generation is supposed to keep advancing. We're supposed to keep advancing forward. Anyway, I pray that we continue to do better. So, Brother Lance, what do you think?
Like I say, you always bring it, and you always bring it. When Sister Ibarra talks, the world must listen, because you're a lightning rod for truth, And you got me stuck on this sun in the background and you being
Yes.
outside so lively, you know. You got me stuck on it. Do it as much as you can when you come on.
Thank you.
It's a different type of intimacy. It's a different type of vibe. You got the sun right there with you.
Thank you. It is necessary, right? We are the people of the sun. We should do more of that.
That's right. That's right.
We're stuck inside the house. We get what do we do these days? DoorDash, Uber Eats.
I know. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure from tomorrow. And I think one of the reasons why I came down with the flu like that was because my resources were low. I was pushing on a few things as usual, and it caught me. So first thing in the morning when I get up, I'm gonna register. And that's very important. And this is something I'm gonna pass along, that we just don't get sun where we get it.
Yes.
We have to register our eyesight on that ball of sun. That sun as early as we can. Register. Look at the sun and register. Don't if you can do it at whatever time the sun comes out, right? Different times in the world is different times, but as early as you can, no later than 30 minutes after that sunrise, look into the sun and catch it before it goes.
That's it.
I've learned that does so much to your body in a positive way.
Yes.
If you wake up late, still register, get out there. But just get your eyes in the sun. Even if you're inside, register with the sun. Let it see you. Let it see your eyes. Let it go into your skull. Let it go into your brain. Even if you don't have enough time or you're in a cold place, early as you can, let the sun know that you see it.
That you're here. Yeah.
I listen to, and I have to say, there's a lot of people out here that don't look like us, that are studying these things that we should already know that benefits us more.
You go outside, they lay on the grass and they walk in barefoot and
the sun is for them. The sun is not even for them, and they're getting a little benefit from it. And we're here getting fed from it, not only on a physical level, but a mental and spiritual level. Seriously.
My last job, one of the conversation I had when I told them they initially want to hire me for PM shift, and I said no, I want morning shift.
Right.
They asked me why. I said, I want to make sure that I can still enjoy sunlight when I get out of work.
Right.
So what I used to do, and I was known for this, I will leave. In fact, it get to the extent that people will tell me that the sun is out. As soon as I see that the sun is out, I will take my little thing and rush outside and lay on the pavement and just let the sun hit me on my forehead, right? And people will just see me just laying there, just with my head just right there. Or I will have my head, my face against the windowsill just to make sure that the sun is just hitting it properly. So getting the sun, doing a lot of what nature demands will heal us. Bro, what will it take?
I know.
I guess continue conversation, continue discussion. So, Brother Lance, I wish you a continued healing, high energy.
Thank you.
High vibration to the continent of Africa. High vibration to all original people wherever we are on the planet. Continue healing energy to all of us collectively. I share. I am thankful. Thank you.
Thank you for you. In the way you do it. Because see, most don't understand that each and every person is the sum total of their total entire experiences in life. So it's not like you're just saying a word, but you're bringing us everything. When you talk with us, you hear everything, and it just comes out so nice and so powerful. And that's what it's all about, to share your essence. And most people don't do that. Most people are just on a superficial level. They want to be heard, but they have nothing really to say. You have a lot to say, and we want to hear you. You see? And this is why it's so diluted on YouTube and other social media platforms, you have a lot of folks that just want to run their mouth and say anything. And it's so hard to get the good stuff. But since we found you and you found us, we're going to keep you coming on. And that goes for anybody and everybody who has something good to say.
Indeed.
You know? That's what it's all about.
Thank you. I appreciate every one of us. Indeed. May we continue to enjoy the mercy of the universe. I share.
Yes.
Talk to you next time.
Much love.
Say hello to your wife and everyone in Ghana. Don't worry, one of these days.
There's countless miles out here waiting for you.
One of these days. You know, I was watching One Day Maya, right?
Yes.
But the brother is doing great things, and oh, what a blessing. And
yeah, he doesn't live too far from here. And
really?
Every time I go around the mall, different areas, I hear I just missed him here, I just missed him there. I actually was at one of his places where he lived before, meeting someone from America. And they said, oh, you know, what am I lives upstairs? But I think now he's living somewhere. He has built a home or something now. But it's just a matter of time. He might not know who I am, but I know who he is.
That is beautiful. And I think that is what it's going to take for us to start sharing our own history. Even if this, we can't expect the people that enslave us, colonize, and do all the debauchery. Brother Lance, you can't tell me anything about a group of people that decided to feed a black child, not just a baby, but a child. You can't tell me anything about them anymore. I don't want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's it. How much hate can you have for other groups?
I know.
And I'm not about to listen to those people telling me about a black man. I'm not going to tell them, I'm not going to listen to them telling me about Africa being corrupt. The condition of Africa today was as a result of what you guys did and you continue to do. So I don't want to hear. And if all of us can stop doing that, as soon as a white person come on TV and they say a black man raped me or they touch me or they look at me, we jump on it.
Yeah.
And we start down it. We have to, if they say something, we say, okay, what did you do?
That's right.
We need to step back. Because if you step back long enough, the truth will eventually come out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I told you before, all the black men back then, they were being put in prison in the 90s. Some of them are being released now. 20-something, 30-something years later. You know, the same way when everybody's jumping on R. Kelly and all that, step back. And what I say is every time somebody say R. Kelly, I say, how about the rest of them? And how many of them are going to prison for the same thing? If you're not going to prosecute all these other white sexual predator, then you can't prosecute this black one. I'm sorry.
Right. They don't say anything about theirs. They have a lot to say about who they say did what.
They rubbish the image of Dr. Bill Cosby, and black society allows them to do it. You know, I don't care how many white females that come out, even if they're coming out of their grave. You see, this is how they get us. Because black people will keep pretending as if, even if you just show up here yesterday, you should know the society that you're in. White society is not going to let you rape a white woman like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're bringing a case from 1975? You bring a case from 1975 and say he raped you, that you are 15 years old. In 1975, white America was still lynching black men. There are black men in prison till today from 1975 that didn't even do anything. You prosecuting a case from 1975, and her memory is so sharp. I cannot even remember what happened to me 3 years ago. I can't remember what happened 10 years ago. Many of us are in relationship that we can't even remember most of the conversation in that relationship. But she's remembering 1975. And the thing that we always do, when we don't give each other the benefit of a doubt that we give them all the time. So we say, oh, well, maybe he did do it. Maybe he didn't do it. I'm saying 1975, that's not even true. Period. Now, sleeping with them? Yes. Because a white woman 1975 knows her what. This is a woman that allows the entire country to be burned down because of her lies. I remember, I don't know if you remember this case. There was a case that happened in New York in 1948 of a white woman that went to go and have an affair, right? And as she was, 1948. As she was coming back, her husband was in the military, and she found out that her husband was already home, or maybe she knew that he was already home by then, right? I think before she got home, she tear up her clothes or something, and she said she was raped by a black man. She didn't mention the particular black man. She said she was raped by a black man. And they went out there, they grabbed the first black man that they saw. Man, if you see the video of it, what they did to that brother, right? Later on down the line, the brother, I think it was giving, I hope I'm not getting the cases mixed up. Anyway, he was giving the share. You know, they were going to kill him. They went ahead and killed him for raping the white woman. Later on, an interview went to go and interview this woman. And she said she hated her husband for what he did, why the black man was arrested and killed. But you just lied, though. You said black man raped you. How many cases? How many? That is why I don't see how many of us can still marry these people, sleep with them with our eyes closed.
For
Like,
real.
you need to have all your eyes open. I mean, that is why I say many of our behavior are just suicidal. Entire town burned down. Entire town. How many towns were burned down? How many people were destroyed? Right?
Mm-hmm.
The Scottsboro 9. The Scottsboro 9, I think that was, 1939? Something like that? When was that? 1939, 1940 something?
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at it on the historic level, that wasn't too long ago.
Yes.
And when you look at it now, it's still going on now, you know, in so many different levels.
Every single time. I always say young female, a white female goes to a club. You're underage, right? You go to a club, you come up on a stranger, and you started kissing the stranger. When the stranger sees you and did the same thing, which is really yucky and nasty, you're kissing somebody that you've never met in your life before.
Mm-hmm.
Black men, black women, that is just really nasty. Right? The same man that we used to pray to the universe, and you just take it and put it anywhere. They get us behaving like pigs. But nonetheless, you come to a club, meet a club that is 21 and over. You show up there and you are underage, right? You came out and say you were raped, and nobody asked you what you were doing there. Is it the responsibility of the people that see you at the club to be asking you for your driver license? It is the responsibility of the security. If the security allow an underage to come in, and with that particular, I think people might understand that case that I was talking about. With that particular case, she used a fake ID card to get into the nightclub. So where is her responsibility?
Right.
And then this was a case that they actually showed that they didn't even have any intimate contact other than kissing, which is nasty to begin with. There was no sex, but the brother still get convicted for rape. All right. That's it. I'm done. Anyway, Brother Lance, the situation is dire. We will definitely continue some other time again. I thank you
Yes.
and everyone in the chat.
These are beautiful shots here. You got the sun dancing around your
Yes,
face.
yes. And
know?
I can see this is helping on my chakras, right? Thank God. Thank God. That is what Black people need to strive for. Open up your chakra.
I just want to say a little shout out to my neighbor here. I don't know how to pronounce his name properly, but Asiminu. He lives close by, right here in Accra by me. I just sent him a friend request. He probably doesn't believe I'm in Accra, but I'm in Accra, probably closer than we think. You know, so you see how this thing goes all over the world and comes right on back. You know, and I've been connected with a lot of wonderful people. Going to do a lot of wonderful work, but I got to pace myself. And just have to say that, you know, talking to you was like that good meal that started at 7 p.m. and 11:30. We're still sitting around a table with our bellies full, but we want that one last bite.
That's all, right?
That's right. That's right. But I know you have to go. Yeah, I know you have to go. And like I said, I'm gonna try to get you on at least once a week. I know you're busy sometime, but it's been thoroughly enjoyable and enlightening and spiritually nutritious. Not just words of gossip and the sensationalized stuff, but something that's very nutritious that you can lay down and think about and replay over and over and share. And I posted Sister Abara's Cash App up top, and I want you to bless her, even if it's $1 or $5 or whatever have you. You know, show a little love that way. You know, we're still in the system, so we can still show love that way instantaneously. Sanovi, I see you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Ren H, Landon Price, everybody. Oyala, Sunkiss, Empress Elegy, of course. Everybody else that I missed, Indigo King. I'd scroll up the chat room and it'd be like a whole lot of names, even after. So that's a beautiful shot right there where you're standing. You see how the sun is on you?
Yes,
Look
right?
at that. Look at that. That's a picture right there. That's right.
That's all we need. That's what we need. Off it.
Well, it's 10:45 over here in Accra.
Exactly.
And,
so I know that being in Africa, you enjoy more of the sun than where you know.
Of course I do. Of course I do. As a matter of fact, I'm waiting for that same sun to come around in the morning time so I can grab my little turn with it too.
That's it. Thank you so much. I thank everybody. We'll definitely do it again.
Yes, definitely. All right.
All right.
Okay, sweetheart.
Stay blessed.
Okay. Much love.
Have fun.
Peace. All right. I just want to tell everybody we are coming back maybe within 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half. It depends on the individual who's coming on. We will be back tonight. We will be back this evening, rather, for another show. I have to set it up. I have to speak with the individual who's going to come on and speak about a very dire situation. And it's something that when you listen to it, it'll prevent you from ignoring the red flags when you get into relationships. And I'm 100% sure we're going to do it tonight. I just have to dig a little deep and make sure we're going to have it. But it will be about an hour, under 2 hours. It depends on lining everybody up. We won't show any faces on that episode because it's a lot of sensitive information that'll be shared. But it's a very much a real situation that needs to be shared. And the individual wants to come on and share what they're going through right now. And if you wonder what it is, I just put it out there. It's a divorce from hell in a very abusive relationship, and all the details will be shared. And it's done out of love, even though they're still in pain and going through it right at this very moment. So let me work on that, enjoy a couple songs, and we will be back tonight for sure. And all this week, I'm going to try to throw out enough content that you can't keep up with. You know, I got a little sick and I was slowed down a little bit, missed a day and did one little thing a day, but I'm going to pace myself. But that's all I'm going to work on right now. So look for us to come back. I love you all so much. Thank you. Thank you, Ren H. Rooftop theme now. Here we go. Thank you, Zenobia.
I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm trying to do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes, sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they said. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Can't be a real, I ain't get you canceled. The whole system need to dismantle. Coppers treated like the utmost wanted. Trying to rule the block, but don't know what goes on. News got a story with a new take on me. Carrying out the window with the screw face on me. But I know that God love me when my burn. 95 degrees and I can't get sunburn. Wonder when your government will make me legal. Burn the whole city if I can't be equal. Get off my please, Brad, I earn that. 400 years, how you still ain't learned? I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm trying to do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes, sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Shout out to the trying to gentrify the genre. Tell them free my middle finger to your honor. In the days coming down the seconds on the timer. Goofy still trying to purchase that designer. About to buy it, learn to grow my own food. Cause I don't like the look they give me in the Whole Foods. And when you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. But it ain't on me now, I'm limping cause my heavy. But ain't sweet, think we thin. My whole attitude on MC Ren. It's my neighborhood now, Bob, I bought that. 400 years, how you still ain't caught that? I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm trying to do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes, sir. I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out.
Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition? Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living. For us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly that before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China, he took silk and gunpowder. From India, he took jute, manganese, and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast, he took barrels of oil untold, raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So, my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. Before we came to America, we were living in the East. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes, slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and fire water. Tricks and lies, he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the worst, most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise. On his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is a black man hell.